Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Darkstone Dossiers with your host, Anthony Darkstone.
Greetings, buonasera a tutti, bonsoir, bonne nuit, buenas noches, and a very good evening, and a very good afternoon, and good morning to all of you folks watching in different time zones. And yes, we do have people from various places on the planet who tune in to watch the various shows from the SAM International Assembly, of which the Darkstone Dossiers is one of them. Before we get to my guests today, I would like very much to call upon the Right Honorable Dean of the Society of American Magicians, Mr. George Schindler, to say a few words of welcome to you.
Welcome to everybody. I'm on here because Harriet and Gay are good friends of mine, and I couldn't miss this for anything. Enjoy your rest of your afternoon.
Thank you very, very much indeed. Before we get to the rest of it, in fact, a couple of little messages for you. Please, wherever possible, identify yourself on camera, because we do have people manning the gallery just in case there is a person or persons who may decide to be a little naughty. They'll throw you out. It's as simple as that. Also, on the top of your screen, you will see live transcription, closed captioning. You will have to enable that if you can't hear the sound too well because of technical problems, or you have a small hearing impediment or whatever. That is there, and it's a feature which I urge you to use if you have any sound issues. I would now like us to go to our next president of the Society of American Magicians. He becomes president in late June, early July. Current title is president-elect, all the way from Canada. Please welcome Mr. Rod Chow.
Thank you, Anthony. Wow, welcome to everyone from all parts of the world. And this is a real special program because we have Harriet and Gay here. Harriet, as you all know, she's famous as a volunteer, and she's always in the spotlight. Today, she takes the spotlight as the star. So we're really looking forward to that. And of course, Gay Darkstone has so much to tell us, so much that we're really looking forward to learn from all her experience. So enjoy the show, and talk to you all later.
Thank you very much, Mr. President-elect. And I have to tell you, the cat is out of the bag. Every president-elect has a little catchphrase or a motto that he or she uses. I happen to have a personal fondness for the one that our upcoming president in July has. His is SAM, we welcome the world. Yeah, that's what we do. Everybody, yeah. We will talk more about that in the meet and greet section, because those of you who've attended the show before will know what that is. I've just been informed, in fact, by my wonderful, wonderful tech people who take care of these things, that we have our current most illustrious in the room, Mr. Tom Gentile.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the afternoon. Hi, Harriet. Hi, Gay. Anthony, Rod, a great review of the convention. Unbelievable. The convention was unbelievable. Unbelievable to the stars of tomorrow, the talent that's coming up. Anthony, back to you.
Well,
doing
thank
a great
you.
job.
Thank you, most illustrious, on both counts. Thank you for your kind words. Now, my guests are, as you've gathered, that's why you're here, the legendary Gay Blackstone, who, for the three of you in the room who may not know, happens to be Mr. Harry Jr. Blackstone's wife, and obviously by default, the daughter-in-law of Harry Blackstone Sr. So, how good does that get? So she's here, and we're going to be running through some little things. And of course, with Harriet, the plan was to have them both at one location in California, but with various things happening, we have them at two separate locations. So if there's a little time lag between, it's not the fault of my lovely, lovely tech people, but that we have to, cross over the US. So we will do that. Now, thank you again and welcome. Let's now get on with why we're really here. Some of you, like myself, may have read or heard definitions of magic. The one that appealed to me most was my very dear friend and a mentor, and a really wonderful human being, the late Eugene Berger. Blessings for his memory. And in the course of my research for this show, I came across another definition which literally blew me away. And I thought, you know what, this would be a great way to open the show and have the lady herself comment on this afterwards. Interestingly, this was done for the Society of American Magicians some time ago, and I am so glad I managed to dig it out. So I'm just going to ask for a clip to be pulled up.
The world needs magic. In this day and age of the economies that we're dealing with, the problems that we have, you need a way to escape. Once you escape somewhere, your mind is creative. It allows the stress and pressures of the day to come down, and everyone needs to laugh. One of the reasons that I say that magic is for all ages, it's never a children's medium, because until you know the difference between reality and fantasy, to have someone float 8 feet in the air to a child, big deal. They've just seen Superman leap an entire building. So why is floating 8 feet in the air a miracle? It's not. When you're older and you realize, as humans, we don't leap buildings with a single bound as much as we'd like to. And therefore, you're able to go back into that period of your own mind, of your own happiness, of your own childhood, or a period where the stresses weren't there. Life was easier. The economy was better. And you laugh and you enjoy. And that becomes universal. But with magic, it doesn't matter whether you speak, whether it's silent, you're enjoying it. It makes for a level playing field. One of the things we've been trying to do in the Masters of Illusion live show, we just finished our first season, 61 engagements, which is a phenomenal record, one of the most successful tours in history and the most successful magic tour in this decade or in this century. But in doing so, we had so many different types of magic. So if you enjoyed one more than another, wait a minute and something else was there. We were in 5 different countries. Part of the time they understood the language, part of the time we had translators, part of the time it was just visual. So it makes us a medium that can be seen anywhere in the world and deliver a message. Now, it's not necessarily a message of political statements, but it's a message that we're all people, no matter where we are in the world, and by working together and living together, that's the way the world will be successful.
Well, told you. Who better? Who better? Who better? Did you notice all the SAM logos all scattered all over the planet? Well, let me tell you, this is our objective and mission in life. Well, it started a couple of years ago, and we're going great guns at it. And with the next presidents, we welcome the world. Wow, we're going to be unstoppable. You know, we might even leap over a building, as Gay was saying. Before I actually bring both my guests up on the screen, I think it would be remiss if we didn't pull this up, which is a citation, not just from the SAM, but the IBM, a joint citation to Gay Blackstone. Here it is. How cool is that? They're also both my guests also happen to be members of the Magic Circle. So as I've often said, we are not in competition with each other. We are all part of the same magic family. Having said that, please let me introduce you. And I am just so thrilled to bits, both professionally and personally, to introduce you to, in no particular order, Gay Blackstone and Harriet Jacobson.
Hello. What a yes, we are. Harriet and I are very sorry we're not in the same location, but unfortunately, as COVID has been dramatic around the world, we're no exception here in Los Angeles and in Detroit. So we decided it was better to stay safe and be in two locations versus chancing an airline flight and becoming ill. Because I don't have time to be sick, and neither does Harriet.
Oh,
We are
missing you.
yeah, yes, absolutely, yes. We have so much going on in so many different directions. In fact, Harriet, who is my closest friend in all the world, Harriet is even coming out to be a helper with me in anything that's going on in the next few weeks. Because sometimes, you know how you need more than one set of ears to handle things? Right now, I need more than one set of feet, arms, legs, and especially heads. So
I do my best. I can't keep up with you, though.
Oh, I don't know, Harriet. You have.
Oh, she's the Energizer Bunny.
Well, I don't know. You got some pretty cool energy yourself. You have, and I'm going to exaggerate, there are not many women in magic. In fact, there aren't any women in magic who remind me of my mom. But you recall when we spoke, my mom must have seen thousands and thousands of magicians. I won't go into why. Yes. And she would always go, that's very good. In your case, somebody ought to give you a citation. I would, if I could, for being the queen. No, the empress of volunteers. You have volunteered.
Anthony, I don't volunteer. They find me.
They do. And I love the way each time you come on and act so beautifully. Wow, that was great. That was wonderful. You've seen it 1,000 times. Your late husband, which some folks will know, dear Michael, blessings for his memory, was quite a notable magician in his own right, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a member of the Magic Circle also, and I was his assistant, but I expected that. I'm not always aware when I'm chosen.
I know you've been on some of our SAM International Assembly Gala shows, and magicians, for some reason, whenever they need a volunteer, just graduate to you. You must have a sign or something up there that says that.
no, I
but
believe it. Let me quickly tell you. When
Sure.
Harriet is sitting in an audience, she is totally engaged in the performance. She's watching every move. The eyes are watching, the smile is there, and it's like she's radiating her own little spotlight. And magicians recognize that, or any performer does. But she is always there, no matter how good or not so good the performance is. I have seen it from the wings when you look out there, and it's like, there's Harriet, because she's beaming, and it's a wonderful thing for someone on stage to be able to look down and find that sort of face and expression. It's terrific.
It really is, because they even do it over Zoom. So she must have this really beautiful aura around her. That's there. Everybody wants to be Harriet's friend.
Thank you. I'm very humbled, and I'm very grateful to Gay and everybody else who have really embellished my life. I have friends 4 to 104, and it keeps on growing. So thank you all.
Oh, I'm sure it's the other way around, and we have to
Especially
thank you.
Gay.
But well, of course, yeah, that goes without saying. Now, you also, Harriet, are an ambassador for a particular section of the SAM. Care to elaborate a little bit?
Well, it's the American Museum of Magic in Marshall, Michigan, and I'm putting together a cookbook with recipes from magicians throughout the world. And I think, Anthony, you have the link.
I don't, but we will put it in, and I have posted about it. I have posted what we have. I think is a picture of some saucepans.
Oh, okay.
Well, pots and pans, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Because you don't be.
I need recipes. I need photos. Photos are really, really important of you making your recipe. And the deadline is February 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you'll.
I'll bring you back to that because I've got a little slot within the show where I'm going to really get you to talk about it in some detail, and some of the people that have already submitted that. I'm going to shoot back little bit, in fact, to Gay, which two of you who may have been asleep at the time or possibly not even born of her links to the Magic Castle. But before we do that, she's not going to mind me telling you, I know, because I did my research. They're going to think, wow, producer of Illusions and etc., Magic Castle on the board of trustees. What you may not know is that this young lady, Gay Blackstone, started her career when she was 2 years old. And she was on the cover of a magazine at 2 years old. She then went on in showbiz, way before she even met dear Harry, blessings for his memory, to work with the Gold Diggers with Dean Martin on the Andy Williams show with a ballet company, and you name it. Really, you know what? She's been there. She's done it. And she's even thrown away the T-shirt. Care to elaborate a little bit on that, Gay?
Oh, well, it was a great deal of fun. And as Harriet said, apparently I have always had energy. My mother had great energy. So, I mean, even when we're on the bus touring, the Energizer Bunny is my nickname. So this has been it. And, I would do things not because it was a path or a goal. I would just, hear about something and I would go to the audition and I would get it. And I'd do something else. And, when I got the job with Andy Williams, because you had to be a singer and dancer. Well, I was a dancer singer. So I didn't come with music or anything else. So anyway, I did the audition and I sang Happy Birthday. This is really when you've got the pro there. So when they called me to tell me I had the job, I said, could you tell me why? I said, I heard other people sing who were far better than I. I said, I know I'm a good dancer, but I said, I know you're looking for both. And they said to me, you sang with personality, which I think was a very nice way of saying you weren't really good, but you had personality. So that was it. And there's been a lot of things that I've done that I kind of leaped into. Not that at the time I thought about it. I mean, when I became president of the Magic Castle, during that, because there had been a changeover and our landlord had only allowed 3 of us from the corporate board to remain. And that was Lou Horowitz, Dale Hindman, and myself. So we were there 1 year and then I ran the next year. And when I won with everyone else that won, Lou Horowitz looked at me and said, congratulations, Mrs. President. And I said, oh, no, we have to go in and decide. He went, oh, no, you are Madam President. So, I didn't go into it going to be the president, and I'm also a huge believer in you have to give back to this world. If you're just a taker, then I'm not going to spend much time around you. But I truly feel whether it's something like the Magic Castle, whether it's your church, whether it's your schools. I mean, I sit on the board of the Magic Castle, of the Ronald McDonald House, and of the University of California, the arts department. So, I mean, I'm a big believer. You give back because the more you give, the more you get. It's just, it makes you feel good. And there are all sorts of things in this world that happen. I mean, I know people don't know that the Blackstones have 2 foundations. One for our late son, Harry Blackstone III, which is at Stanford University. And it's actually for transplants, for organ transplants. So, we have that. And then at California State University in San Bernardino, we have a library in the theater department. Both diverse, both things that are needed, both foundations that I have been very fortunate that many friends have supported. And I am grateful for that. So, you get back to the world. I mean, this year with the pandemic, the castle has had many, it's actually, well, we closed March 15th of 2020. So, and we reopened. We've had to close a couple other times because of COVID numbers there. But we're doing everything we can to keep it safe, to keep it for our members. Also, from this, we have developed things we didn't even know we needed. We suddenly came up with the board of trustees. We came with Behind the Bookcase, which Jonathan Levitt has spearheaded. We've all worked on it, but Jonathan has truly spearheaded it. We're now doing Behind the Bookcase Live, which is basically live things at the castle, but then they're put either streamed or recorded and put onto the website so our members can do that. And we have members. Paul Green is kind of in charge of that. I'm doing the next one, I think. But we have all these things that we were doing because we needed to continue magic. And in doing so, we've discovered that our out-of-state members, our out-of-the-country members feel closer to us than they ever have. And they've not set foot into the castle. So it's from adversity that we discovered something that's a very, very major positive. So those are all things that, that I do just because it's me.
Yeah, just because it is you. And I recall, in fact, when Christian Diamond, myself, and you had dinner at the Magic Castle, you were kind enough to do that. And I remember turning to you in one particular location. I'm not going to mention the gentleman's name because I can't pronounce it. He's kind of like the official photographer. How do you pronounce his name? I can never get his name right. You know who I mean. He takes the photograph.
He's no longer with us.
Okay. I didn't know. Well, he was at the time, I believe.
Yes, he
and
was.
I remember turning to you at a particular occasion in the castle after dinner and saying, "Yeah, I don't suppose I'm going to get permission to have a picture here." And you, absolutely brilliant. I'm going to embarrass you, but I got to say it. Absolutely brilliant example in action of giving back. Went, if I say we can, we can. Let's pull this up. Just to show everybody, we're in the Blackstone corner. What happened was, it was actually in the Blackstone corner where there was a poster of Mr. Blackstone Sr. and another one of Mr. Blackstone Jr. And then there's you and I actually standing there. And you were so kind. And that meant a heck of a lot. There it is. I mean, how cool is that? And I didn't even have to kill anybody to get that. It was just pure kindness. Well, of course, those of you watching, please understand, that was a photograph of me when I was a lot older.
Oh, yes. We both are, yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of photographs and the castle, pretty much anybody who's been through those doors, and celebrities, etc. I want to focus on two of them in particular. I can't possibly bring everybody in, but two in particular, because I happen to be fans of theirs. So, I get these rights as a producer. Yeah, they're huge fans. But one of them is a wonderful, wonderful gentleman. And there's a picture of you with Harry Jr. and a young lady we saw earlier on who was setting everything up for you. Let's pull that up. When I found this, I thought, wow, there it is. Of course, everybody recognizes Bobby, a young Bobby. Of course, yes, that was a picture when he was older too. Yes.
Yeah.
And
that was a great picture with RJ. Harry was set shooting heart to heart, and I come in with Bellamy, who is the baby there. Yes, who was helping a few minutes ago. I think she was about 18 months old then, and had been on set for part of the afternoon with a nanny and various things, and she was ruling the set because RJ let her. She was playing with everybody's pet dogs, whatever was there. And Charles Reynolds was helping, magic technically, he and I were. Well, they said, okay, it's a wrap. Charles left, the nanny left, and suddenly they came back and said, there's been a problem in the film. We have to reshoot this. It's like, oh my goodness. An 18-month-old inside a set when you're shooting that's the time that she's going to decide to talk, scream, whatever. So I thought, oh, what are we going to do? Well, so for part of it, Stephanie Powers was not in part of it. So she stayed with Stephanie and Stephanie's dog. And then they were finished, but we still had to do some more. And so RJ said, well, I'm going home, and to Natalie, we're going to have dinner. And their youngest daughter at that point was 4.5. He said, let me just take her with me, take Bellamy with me, and she can have some dinner, and, and she can play, and, and just whatever you need to do to get this finished. Okay. So Bellamy had no difficulty at all going with RJ. It was like, as she's waving goodbye to us and blowing kisses. And, so there was her car seat in the front seat of his little Mercedes. But, oh yeah, so she had a great time with him. So at times she'll say, Mother, someday if I have to ever go to a psychiatrist and talk about the fact that you were being cut in half with a buzzsaw when you were 7 months pregnant. And then I had babysitters, everything from RJ Wagner to Rip Taylor. She said, there will be stories there. So.
Oh, I bet.
RJ, to this day, RJ is still a very good friend. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. And in fact, when we were doing the International Magic Awards and he was my host, there was a script on the teleprompter and he walked out and said, I'm not going to read this. Instead, I'm going to talk about my friend, Harry Blackstone, because what I will say about him has more feelings than anything that's going to be on this teleprompter. Mm-hmm. And he just did this lovely story. And it was very touching. It was a very touching moment because it was so real.
And I remember when you had him for World Magic Award. Was it the World Magic Awards or
yes.
Masters? And I was there and I was like starstruck when you introduced me to him.
Well, I've never had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Rod Wagner, but a huge fan. The other picture we're going to pull up, I did actually manage to meet this gentleman briefly, very briefly. I couldn't call him a friend or anything, but just very briefly hang out, because at the time he was in England shooting a series called The Persuaders with none other than Tony Curtis, which some of you will remember played Houdini in the movie, and as a result got the magic bug and would actually do magic. I mean, he actually loved magic. So this gentleman I'm referring to was in The Persuaders. Prior to that, he was the Saint, and since then assumed the mantle of 007. Sadly, Sir Roger, and he is a knight of the realm, he has been knighted, Sir Roger is no longer with us. So there you are with Sir Roger Moore. Now, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, Gay, and force you to tell us a little story of how he would, with finesse, occasionally pay tribute to your nether region, shall we say. You take it from there.
Okay, well, at the time, let's just say that Sir Roger was very mischievous. He had that little twinkle in his eye that you normally see in 4-year-old little boys who are about to, go into the candy jar. But that was just Roger full time. I knew him for years, and he, like Harry, they both had that twinkle, and they loved doing practical jokes and doing things that were just a little bit to throw you off on camera or on stage, and in times when you couldn't. So we were working together, and I had just introduced him, and he came out and he was about to start talking actually about Harry. And as he was talking about Harry, with his right arm that had been around me at my waist, it just wandered down a little bit. And at that point was patting me. Now, I know that our younger members would say, sexual harassment. It was not meant as sexual harassment. It was just meant as a joke to make me relax, to also, be mischievous and see, if he could do it and have me break up. That was just who and what he was. But it was it was charming and delightful. And he also did part of the introduction in the James Bond voice, which wasn't on the teleprompter either. But he decided, in case someone didn't realize that it was James Bond, he went through all that. So he was. I miss him tremendously. In fact, his son Christian, I guess, worked for me for 2 or 3 years. He's now living back in Monaco. He's married again with several children. But he's Roger was. He was a great person, and that's it. He was a person, just like RJ. They, just like Cary Grant. I mean, these were stars that were so involved in magic and in life, but they were such lovely, lovely, wonderful people that you couldn't help but love them.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to take you back to, in fact, before we had that dinner at the, I think we've got, well, while we're on the castle, I've got to pull this up because we did some research and found this. I think there's a shot of you here with, how can we talk about the castle and not mention them, of you with the Larson family. Tell us a little bit about that. There's something to do with an award. Was it for you or somebody else?
Oh, this was an award for Milt from the city of Los Angeles,
Mhm.
and because I think that's when I think I was president at that point, and because this was one of our councilmen who were there, and they're presenting it to Milt. It really was a Milt and Irene award, so I was just there to help bring them up and have them accept it because, without Milt and Bill and Irene, and quite frankly, Jerry Larson, we would never have the castle as any of us think of it. Jerry was the one who said, everybody, I need you out of my theater. You're here every weekend from Friday mid-afternoon until late Sunday night. I want my home back. And that was one of the reasons why they decided, with a little help and push from Mom, that they were going to find a location for another clubhouse. And that
Right.
was the way it all started.
Well, Harriet was saying the other day to me, in fact, that she first met you and dear Harry Jr., oh gosh, back in the day when she actually watched you perform. And then later on at a local club, and then later on at Abbott's. And I think that's where your friendship really started. Yes, in Abbott's, Harriet, is that right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. They used to, Harry, Gay, and Bellamy used to come to our house first for a few days on their way to the convention. And then we'd go to the convention and spend the week together. And we used to sit in the bleachers. And then all of a sudden, years later, we found ourselves in the front row sitting next to Gay. So,
Well, I say the very first time, because I will remember it, because we were working at a club called DJs and DBs, that's it, in Detroit. And the nanny was there holding Bellamy.
right.
And Matthew came out, Harriet's son. And I think Matthew may have been 7.
He was 9.
9? Okay.
He was 9.
And I don't even know if Bellamy may have been 2, but I'm even sure she was 2. Well, she literally fell out of the nanny's arms to go to Matthew.
Right.
It was the first time she'd seen someone that close to her size or whatever, but it was like she spotted immediately that this was going to be a friend. So, I mean, she was just falling out and, was right there with now this big Matthew. And that became her first very close friend.
Right. Then we went to the SAM convention, and I found, as I was going through things, it's backwards, but this was the 1983 program from the SAM convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which was after DB's. That was our first magic convention that we went to. And I think your mom was there with you.
Yeah.
Right? And we spent, Michael and your mother spent a lot of time talking from then on through the years. And it was the beginning of a long, wonderful, special friendship.
Michael called my mother Mom.
Right. Oh, you were your mother's other child?
Yes, he was her other child. And
How cool is that? You get such a great, wonderful, strong friendship. And I met you both. I think before we sort of got together at the castle or afterwards. I can't even recall. It was at one convention. If memory serves me, it may have been a TAOM or an SAM. I don't honestly recall, when you had your stand-up for BJW jewelry. I remember looking at, well, as everybody who knows me, I'm not really a great fan of jewelry. I love it. Yeah, I went from gold to silver. I love silver now. Anyway, that's where I think I first met you, and I think I met you first, Harriet, and we got talking, and I think when you both met, and then some 17 years now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You've had BJW jewelry, yes?
we started in 2004. I was going again through some literature, and so it's been quite a while.
Indeed.
We were just 6 when we started the company.
We
Well,
were.
of course.
We
Well,
love
I did say 30 years ago when you were 2,
Yes.
you were on the cover of a magazine. That's true,
Yes,
isn't it,
yeah.
Gay? That's true.
Yeah.
You actually were on the cover of a magazine. At
I
2 years
was,
old.
absolutely.
Yeah. I know. Before we get into BJW, which I want to, you can see why. I'd like to pull up a still of blessings for his memory of Mr. Harry Jr., just a still of him. If you're about my age, or maybe even slightly younger, you will realize that this man, yes, it's a given. His magic, his large shows and everything, all of that is a given. There was something about his stage presence, and more importantly, the way he dressed. I can tell you personally, that was a big influence on me. And even till this day, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. My grandpa always used to say, if you dress for the occasion will always suit you. And here is a wonderful example of somebody who is one of the emperors of magic, obviously, doing exactly that. And I think you were saying to me not so long ago, Gay, that you had a very special gentleman design all the costumes. Is that right?
Oh, yes. Well, Harry, first of all, Harry was a dresser at all times. I mean, Harry shopped far more than I could ever do in multiple years. That was just Harry. He loved clothes, and he also wore them well. And for several years, he was named one of America's 10 best dressed men from Mr. Blackwell. It was the same time that Ronald Reagan was as president, and there were whole different things. But anyway, at some point when Harry decided he wanted a different look in a tuxedo than the typical magician. So there was a man named Michael Travis, and Michael Travis was known for doing, he was known for doing like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and a lot of really superstars.
Wayne Newton too, I believe. Yes.
Yes, Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton. Yeah.
Yes, the Indian. Yes. So he understood how to do that and to come up with something very dramatic. So Harry went to see him, and he was looking at him, and he said, "Oh yeah, broad shoulders and all." So he made what was called a Beau Brummel back with the wide shoulders, and then coming down with the double flaps. So if you had things in your pockets or what all, it gave it a little extra give without destroying the look and the image, which your audience will understand. Also, because Harry was very short-legged and long-torsoed. I mean, Harry was 6'3". I'm 5'2" on a good day, and my legs were longer than his. So he made him a jumpsuit instead of pants at a time. It was a jumpsuit, so it kept the elongation. And then Michael said, "Well, it's magic. It needs to have fire and danger." So that's what came up with the idea of the lapels and the flames. And then he looked at it with a regular tie, and he said, "No, Harry needs whimsy. He needs because Harry, who looks so austere and the presence and and that was not just on stage. He would walk into a room and you realize there was a presence in the room. So, and it didn't matter whether he was in his robe or his tuxedos. I mean, it was just a presence. So he decided to make the tie, which are actually rabbit ears. So it's an upside down rabbit and the rabbit ears. So that was Michael's idea of a little whimsy to put it into Harry's tuxedo, and it worked. It was
a trademark. That was it.
It was a trademark, and he wound up having this.
Yeah.
He had the suits made in several different colors. He had like a dark burgundy one for Christmas, and he had at the end of the show he did a quick change, and he went from the ringmaster's yellow tailcoat and pants to an entire white suit with the flames in gold and all. So I mean that was all Michael Travis. And I'll tell you one funny little thing, because Michael, he did a few women, but mostly men. So one day we were on short notice and he was making something for Harry, and Harry said, "Gay really needs a dress for Zigzag." So he created this dress, and it had 16 yards of chiffon in the skirt. Now, first of all, anyone who does Zigzag knows if you have 16 yards of chiffon, you are, I mean, yes, you always want to look like magically that you're filling out the prop and there's no way it looks like you could get in there. Well, that was the case. I mean, it was just there. And he made a little crown that covered my hair in a little top knot thing. And when he finished it, I mean, and it was gorgeous. It was truly gorgeous. But I said to him, Michael, you made me look like a fairy princess. I'm a femme fatale. And Michael looked at me and said, no, you're not. You're a fairy princess. So that's the way I realized that I've always had to think of myself that I'm not the sexy showgirl. I'm the femme fatale. That's only my vision. Everyone else envisions me as a little fairy princess. So yes.
Well, the designer did.
The designer did. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the designer did.
He only designed the one costume.
One thing for you. Yeah.
I then went to Bob Mackie because I thought, Bob Mackie, had a different take on me. So
stick with the designer you love, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I love it, just not for me.
Let's take you both now, I think, to something that you both, apart from magic and all the other things in your friendship, this is you've been, as we've hinted already or said, you've been doing for some years now, and you started with dear Robbie Wilmart, who some of you will know has passed and was the wife of dear Phil Wilmart, who was the editor of the Linking Ring before Sammy Smith. I had the honor and pleasure of meeting him, and he was a wonderful man. And I even had him on one of my live talk shows at the SAM convention in Dallas, would you believe, back in the day. He just said, I said, look, I'd love you to come on and do it. And well, yeah, sure, great. Such a nice man. You started that with Robbie, and now it's just the both of you, and it's called BJW Jewelry. Well, the question is it any good? Well, the short answer is it's good enough for dear Eugene Berger. And I think we have a picture of him actually wearing something. Oh, next to a spool of thread and a candle. I wonder what he is about to do.
And my son,
that's as good as my impersonation of Eugene I'm going to get. Sorry, go ahead.
my son designed that.
Oh, wow. Your son, Matthew, he did that?
Yes.
That's fantastic. And then
he was there for the photo shoot with design.
Lovely.
With
And then I
Gene,
think
and we did one with Max also.
Exactly. There he is. It's been moved down, and he's wearing one of your lovely products called the Illusion Ring. What are the odds to have two of the greatest minds in magic wearing this jewelry? Now, you don't just do whatever jewelry. You have jewelry specifically for magicians, like the M ring. You have a catalog. Do you have a catalog handy you can hold up, Harriet?
I have it here.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a lot of stuff. Yeah.
But this was actually when we started. We have more things now.
And sorry to interrupt, because I'm going to forget otherwise. And this is kind of important, because when our editor gets the raw footage, he'll put this up on the screen on the finished job to go on the showcase later. Your website is just BJW Jewelry, is that right?
BJW Magical Jewelers.
Okay, we'll get that.
And Gay, we're both wearing things,
which I wear every day. I wear the illusion bracelet that Eugene was wearing. I wear the impossible ring, and I also have the bracelet in 18 karat gold. I'm a gold girl, and it is the impossible bracelet.
Now, people who Harriet's got some. You're wearing your M rings.
I'm wearing the M ring in silver and gold, and I'm wearing our impossible bracelet, which is in gold.
Oh wow!
And I'm wearing a necklace that we have. We do custom work. We have charms. We have charm bracelets. Gay's showing you. She can't get back on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this isn't going to work.
Honey.
Yes.
We have you've just given me an idea, and I don't know if it'll work, but I can certainly try it. Why not? We have a gentleman, he's actually in the audience at the moment, one of the members of our International Assembly in Turkey. You will know his name when I tell you, because you've met him, Gay, I know. He designed the most beautiful pocket square, which became a devil's handkerchief for the magic circle, I got talking to him and I said, hey, could you do one for SAM International Assembly? And he said, yeah, sure. So he and I have been going back and forth, and he came up with a magnificent design, more of that later, for the SAM International Assembly members. And the idea is that I will speak with the powers above the SAM, that maybe down the line he does one for the SAM as well. We're not in a hurry to get anything done. My idea, before I forget it, is that I and the powers that be should perhaps have a conversation with Harriet and Gay, if we can find you both at the same time, but certainly Harriet, and maybe create something exclusively for our SAM members as well. That could be done, I think.
Absolutely.
It's an idea. That's all I'm saying. You know, I can't decide these things. I can for the International Assembly, but there are higher ups people who decide these things, and that's something perhaps we can explore. If it comes to something, wow. If it doesn't, well, hey, we've explored it. No problem. The gentleman I was going to mention, and I know he's in the gallery. He's English, but he lives in Turkey, and that's Lee Alex. When I told him you were going to be on the show, he said, "Oh wow, I know Gay. I've met her."
Yes.
So I told you would know his name. He's here. I dare say he will speak to you in the meet and greet. Now, I think one of the people also that we didn't pull up because I couldn't find a picture of him wearing it, and that was lovely man. I absolutely adore him, dear Michael Finney.
Oh, Michael Finney wears his every day.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
For all the people who go to Abbott's, Artie Kidwell wears his every day. I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting that we have a bracelet that, quite frankly, we've sold to more men than women. It's just an interesting thing from that standpoint. And especially people who say, oh, I don't wear jewelry. But when they realize that it's not just jewelry, it's a magic trick. I mean, and to me, what's more fun than, having something, I mean, it happens to me because I wear them every day. So, someone will say, well, you're in magic, do something. And they've seen me wearing this like several days. I say, well, I've got, I think everything in the world is magic. And I'll then do the ring or the bracelet or something, and then either leave the bracelet sitting on the table while they play with it, or I'll just put the things back on because it's my jewelry. And at that point, they are always somewhat dumbfounded, and I love it.
I think this is fantastic because not so much now, but a lot of us, in fact, used to spend plenty of time at airports and so on, and there's always the inevitable security. And well, certainly for me, I mean, I know other pals of mine in the business. Why have you got 17 decks and you carry on? What is this strange looking wooden thing with a stick in it? And well, yeah, actually, it's my job. And you say, really? What do you do? I'm a magician. And inevitably, it's show me something.
Yes.
And in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, at that point, there is nothing worse than reaching into your pocket or your carry-on and taking out a deck of cards. So much better to say to them, do you happen to have $1 or a quarter or some coins with you? Or removing something else that's an everyday object, like I talked about before, pocket handkerchief, that's a devil's hank. Yes. And you lose their pen or quarter or whatever, and that way you also make a point. And after that, in my experience, and I know other pals who do a lot of traveling, I mean, Sean Farquhar, for example, he's the king of on and off planes, or has been since all this hit. They kind of go, oh, wow, that's so cool. Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, close everything up. Hey, where's his bag? Oh, get him his bag. Bring it over here. And that's it. You're just whistling through whichever country you're in. Whichever country you're in. That has been my personal experience. And lots of other pals, they've said the same thing. Quick funny story about dear Norm, who's gone now, blessings for his memory, and Lupe Nielsen. She told me that. I can't remember when that was. I think we were probably having lunch or some such thing. They took out a pair of nail clippers. Are you going to travel with them? Okay, fine. And left a yay big pair of scissors.
Oh,
Well, what can you say? What can you say? Now, I think there is no way in the world I'm going to be able to do you ladies justice by talking about everything you've done, your deep friendships, and I have no, I'm going to exaggerate and make a point. A zillion stories about everything to do with you both. And we're coming to that time where I'm kind of sad that I got to wrap this up. But
Oh no.
let me, yes, well, not right away. We have the meet and greet. We have the meet and greet.
Oh.
Oh, well, we have the meet and greet. No, that's fine. And I'm sure there's people chomping at the bit here. Quick question, an obvious one, but it's my job. I have to ask it. Any magician anywhere can order one of your jewelry pieces. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. You don't have to be Max Maven or Michael Finney.
No, no.
Our prices are also so reasonable. That's going to be shocking to everybody because, you know, we don't have a brick and mortar store. It's Harriet's, you know, and this sort of thing. So it's, you know, it's all done for fun and the love of magic and to create something that's a little unique that will work for everybody.
Yes, male or female. This is the good part. Yeah. Go ahead, Harriet, please.
We even have little balloon dogs.
Oh, wow.
Made out of used to make out of plastic pearls. We have a sterling silver one that can be on a necklace, and I have a ring on that just says magic.
Oh, how
We
cool.
do necklaces, we do earrings, we do custom work, we do whatever your dream is, whatever you think of.
I don't know what I've done with it, but I've kept it all these years. Ivana Brenning, who is, of course, the legendary Celeste's daughter, she made a little kind of poodle thing for me and at the conventions and gave it to me. But this is so cool. Could you hold it up again, please? This is so cool. Oh my, look at that.
And I wanted one. I would do the little pearl trick because I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
look at
wanted
that.
a
That
little
is
sterling poodle.
okay. And of course, are you open to anybody who's sort of creative in nature, who comes to you and says, look, I've got this an idea for an effect or whatever. Could you make such and such for me?
Yeah.
And what have you are okay.
We've done that. We've done custom work
Oh,
for
good. Okay.
one of a
No,
kind.
yeah, I'll tell you for why, really. Call me old-fashioned, and the answer is yes, I am. Because I don't like to perform unless I've got the right visual and the right looking props. You know, tacky stuff is not my thing. Good luck to whoever wants to do it. As I often say in magic and in my workshops, etc., you've got to dress for your character. There's only one person in the world who can perform magic in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and his name is David Blaine. That's it. That's his character, right? If you're doing this or a Zoom show with your kitchen in the background and things like that, this is not about image. Michael Likey, I believe he's in the gallery somewhere, who is the anchor and presenter on the Magic News Network, something the International Assembly has started already. We have February's coming out. We have had January. He's the presenter. Also, in fact, talks about this and various things and people that he meets. And you know, visual is important. I think he's in the gallery. He's also our SAM International Assembly for Canada, by the way. So we do have people, you know, all over the place. We have assembly people. Am I plugging the assembly? Yes, we welcome the world. Absolutely. And that's what it's about. And yes, I'm part of the IBM. Yes, I'm the Magic Circle. Yes, yes, yes. We're all cousins and we need to do that. So if somebody came to you and said, look, I want this design for my assembly, or as we put it to the higher up, see what they got to say. They may say, no, I don't know. But yeah, that's their decision. To do something for the SAM, because I think, you know, that could happen. And people like me, for example, if I had, I mean, I've got my SAM pin, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I've got another one that says President of the Assembly, etc., which was a bit kish to wear that one today. But if I had that done, say, a bit bigger in silver, for example, that would be nicer. Unless people come up to you and peer at your lapel, they can't see what that says, or the Magic Circle one, which is even smaller. Yes. So imagine if there was something there, and you know, I would pay for it, and I'm sure there'll be many SAM members who would come over and go, yeah, make one for me. It didn't have to be for everybody, as long as you've got well, it's just me and ideas. And in fact, we have got another idea on the back burner, Gay and I, which we're going to talk about in due course. We started to, but we said we'd leave that, yes, for now, and we won't mention it. But I think when we're ready to launch that, we will, and you're going to love it. Meantime, get an illusion bracelet and
And
a
then
ring.
ring.
Keep going, Harriet. Keep going. And yes,
Ring or bracelet.
yes,
Magic ring.
yep.
Impossible. We say impossible bracelet.
If you folks are out there thinking, why is he plugging this? I'm not really plugging it. It's just that I have two wonderful magic ladies here who are associated in this business, and these things pertain to magic. And I would be a dreadful producer and host if I didn't mention it. I really would. So, like I said, I'm an old-fashioned creature and meticulous, and that's the way I am. Okay, and that's why I wanted to cover all these points. Now,
You may have had first on your show a moment ago. We just had a little earthquake. That was
Yeah,
why.
we saw.
That was when my camera fell. So
are you serious, Gay? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I know you and your mischief. I
Fine.
know you.
No, because I had my iPad propped up there,
Yeah.
and suddenly I thought my feet. I thought, oh, what's on my feet? And then at that point, the camera went. I thought, oh, we've just had a little earthquake. It was minor, wasn't too big, but
Yeah, we noticed you went off, and then you kind of came back on, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's had a little too much coffee in her coffee,
Yeah.
But that's what it was. Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
man,
So I said that may be a first for you.
it is a first on
You
the
know
show.
what?
On the show, I've been through a couple of earthquakes. One in New Mexico when it did this.
We were at a
Unfortunately, I
convention.
wasn't performing at the time. But anyway, there we are. That's going to lead us to all
No, but-
kinds of
yeah,
magic.
I was saying my
gags.
apologies, but I had nothing to do with it.
No need.
Yeah.
Absolutely no need. Harriet, please, you were going to say.
Oh, I was going to say we were at a convention in California one time,
Uh-huh.
and I'm in Michigan. We don't get earthquakes, and somebody said there was going to be an earthquake or something was happening. I remember, and we were in the dealer's room, and I said, "Gay, what do we do?" And she said, "We go under the table."
Yeah, nice to have an earthquake pro next to you.
There were no
Yeah.
windows.
That's
You
nothing.
know, we didn't have
That's
to worry about the windows, but
Did you love the way she went? We had a little earthquake. We're all going to read about it on the news. It was 8.9 magnitude. Gay Blackstone's go, went a little way.
oh my! I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
I'm
okay. I'm
fine.
glad. Yeah, I can now firmly say with a straight face
Yes.
in my Darkstone voice, I have finally had Gay Blackstone move the earth.
Exactly.
Well, you know me. I love mischief.
said.
eh? Yeah. Listen, what we're going to do is wrap up this segment at the time. Speaking of conventions, do you both know which is when's your next kind of booth at which convention? Have you got any plans?
For sure, Magic Live
Mhm.
and Collectors in Austin, which is first. I think
Okay.
Collectors is first. Magic Live, IBM, Abbott's, and hopefully they're all going to start and will be at
Okay.
have our
Yeah.
booth.
Hopefully,
Okay.
it seems like COVID is starting to settle down. This morning's report was that a couple of places it's already started numbers going down. They think California will be going down in the next week or two. So, that's just it because we have families and all, and we're by ourselves, but we have to make sure that we protect ourselves and our families. So
Of course.
as you can always order online, but it's so much more fun to see us in person. And we enjoy it so much more when we can show you all the new things that we have. So, hopefully this year we'll be able to make quite a
Right.
few.
Oh, that'll be really, really good, actually. Okay. I've just had somebody that I know extremely well send me a private message going, "Yay, Magic Live! We'll definitely buy some stuff." So there you go. So you've got one customer.
And
No,
we didn't talk about this, but
yes,
can
go ahead.
I do a short little, I hate to use the word plug because it's really more almost a request. I
Mhm.
am shooting season 9 on the CW network here in America in 2.5 weeks, and because of COVID, we've tried to get people in from around the country. I've had 2 or 3 people this week that have said now they can't make it, and I blame no one because I want everyone to be safe. But I'm short some acts, so if someone would like to send, because not everyone's on my radar. If I don't know you, then there's no way I may know about you.
Well,
Excuse me.
let me say this while you clear your throat. I'm not sure if she's in the room, but she said she would be if she's not gigging, and that's Meadow Perry. And I've got a couple of things planned with her for April of this year. She was in 2 of our gala shows, as you know. You attended one of them, Gay and Harriet, and I know she wants to get in touch with you. And I've sent her details to Harriet and also, to you. And the other one I think you were very interested in, who was on one of our gala shows, was Charles Magician.
Yes. So
And
I just need things.
Yeah, okay.
If I could have things to me by no later than Tuesday of this week, because
Okay.
we really are in short time, and it can be anything. I mean, I would love illusions, but it could also be, it can be quirky, it can be danger, because one of my favorite escape danger acts has, as of yesterday afternoon, said he thinks he's going to have to pull out because he's got illness in his family and he's the caretaker. So, and these are all things that as human beings we understand.
Of course.
The network's not a human being, so we have to
No.
go back and deal with it that way. So as I said, if anybody says, oh well, she doesn't know me, or I sent her something but I didn't hear, then if they could do it again by whatever you suggest, my website or something else that you tell me that would be the best thing for them to do it, then please do.
Most of the folks here, I am not going to give out your email here. I really am not.
Right.
It's that simple. Even Harriet. Those in the International Assembly will know how to contact Harriet because she's one of our members. And you are an honorary member whenever you get the time to go there and have a look. I know you can't, and that's okay, not a problem. You can send it to me. If you are an SAM member, you will know me and you will be able to get my email, and I will not touch, alter it in any way. I will simply forward it on to Gay's private email.
I appreciate that so much. And
I mentioned 2 names. I think they're here. I'm not sure. Let me just have a very quick look. Oh, I've just been told Meadows in the room. There's a young man in Texas who's also been on one of the gala shows called Austin Moody's in the room. We have our president-elect, Rod Chow, who's been on a few gala shows, and then the last one in December, who does this magnificent it's all to do with planets and stars, and it's just absolutely awesome. It really is. I think you're going to love it, Gay, if you've not seen it. Anyway, I'm not plugging anyone in particular. Michael Likey has been as well on our shows.
I hated to throw that at you since we hadn't discussed it, but I just realized in the last few
Oh, that's
days,
fine. Yeah.
because people are for different reasons having to bail, and
It's understandable,
and I'd love to give as many new people that haven't been on a chance. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's be honest. I mean, business is business, with or without COVID, world wars, whatever. The contracts with the network, and the network is a robot. Boom. It's not human. And, that's part of the business we're in, and anything else. So I think everybody gets that. We have Michael Likey, I mentioned, has been on our gala shows. Am I plugging these people? Yes, in a way, because I've had them on the gala shows. I've seen their work. I've vetted their work. And I've had people come back and go, gee, can we have them again? So I'll have them all get in touch with me, and I will forward whatever it is they say directly to that special email of yours, Gay. Which I have. You're welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think what I need to do at this stage, just looking at the time, and I know you're all chomping at the bit to say something in chat or to talk directly with my lovely guests. Before that, Huge thanks to the Dean of the SAM. Huge thanks to the President-elect of the SAM. Huge thanks to all the SAM International Assembly members who showed up here. And last but not least, well, we kind of privately call each other brother and we do it publicly. Well, he actually has done it publicly. My brother behind the scenes, without whom none of this or any of the gala shows of Darkstone Dossiers would be possible. That's the Dean of our International Assembly, past National President, Joel Zawitsky. So better, AKA Batman. Absolutely, yeah. So I believe he will now free your mics. And
Well, I
the
want to
chat.
thank you. First of all, before you do that, Anthony, Gay and I both want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We truly enjoyed talking with you and doing this.
It has
Thank you.
a total pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time giving up. I don't want to really do this again. It's taken me 40,000 years to get you two together. Nobody knows the work that's gone into ramrodding and laughing you two, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but it's great. But Gay, we will talk about obviously this forthcoming thing that we're doing and whatever. But at the same time, I would like, don't answer me yet. This is going to depend on your schedules and how the shooting goes for things. I get that. We will find another time to sort of just do a kind of Blackstone history in a different way. Not so much a talk show, but just that kind of thing. So thank you so much to my lovely guests. A shout out, of course, to Peter Stevens, Brett Saul, and Michael Kelly, all of whom are members of SAM International Assembly, who man the gallery, making sure there are no naughty people in it. So thank you to them for a great job. If I've left anybody out, thank you. I'm an old guy. Occasionally I'll forget things. So there you go. Nothing personal. So let's open up the chat, shall we, Joel and Mike's, and anybody who wants to jump in, please do.
Yep.
And you can speak directly to my guest. Keep it short and sharp. Keep it short and sharp, please.
Harriet and Gay, you were so missed at the convention. Hope to see you at the next one in New Orleans. And Gay, again, hopefully you'll be able to speak at our life membership breakfast at that time.
I'm planning it. Let me, as soon as you can send me the date, first of all, New Orleans is home. So I'm even looking forward to maybe seeing a member or two of my family. So, which is all about that I have left, but no, looking forward to it. We're planning on it. And so sorry that I couldn't do it this year, but I'm going to be there.
Well, I mentioned it, but I neglected to say thank you to the little baby you saw in the photograph with Bobby Wagner. Of course, you referred to him as RJ. She came on and set up all the techniques. So thank you so much, Bellamy. If you could pass my thanks on to her.
I definitely will.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was great. And I enjoy all the history because I'm still new to magic. And so it's fun to get to see, Harry Blackstone and all the things. So, and see Gay and Harriet, both your friendship together. And it's really great to get to know you a little more. And I'm really looking forward to your jewelry, and I'm blushing because yeah, I was pulling it up and kind of giving it a scroll through, and I really like some of the pieces. So I'll be in contact.
We should talk. We have lots of other things that are not necessarily in the catalog that we should talk about.
I'm intrigued.
Well, let me help you with your intrigue. I think you should definitely talk with Harriet about some special custom pieces that involve bubbles and things.
I was going to say something.
Oh, serious?
Bubbles. Yes. Gay,
Yeah.
Really?
We actually have a little vintage antique bubble stick that looks very feminine and terrific and would photograph terrifically on television.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's 100% up my alley.
Yeah, I figured it would be. Don't forget to email me. I've got the other one, by the way, the clip that you sent. Yes, I've got it with you and Carissa. Got it. That's fine.
Awesome.
I think I've replied to it. That's good. That's going into the February Magic News Network. And you, send me some stuff. Gay needs it by Tuesday.
Sure, absolutely.
Right away.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want my 15% cut, right? No, I'm kidding. You know me. All right. You know me. Come on. Everybody wins when we help each other. That's the motto. That's what
true.
we do.
Exactly.
Anthony, what a wonderful program. So well put together with all the visuals and our two special guests. They were really engaging and really enjoyed it. So congratulations, Anthony, another amazing Darkstone Dossiers, and Gay and Harriet for coming on. And, you know, every time I go to convention, that is actually one of my favorite tables, Harriet and Gay, because I go there because it always changes and so many interesting things on the table. And really, there are stuff for magicians and magician wives too, right? So I do look through that. Yeah, it's perfect. You know, I bring back a souvenir and something that I could wear. So, and I actually bought a number of things from your table, and then, like, they're really well made, and you can be proud to have it in your collection or wear it. But it's, you know, collectible, right? Because a lot of them are, you know, you can't get them again. You either see it there and buy it, or that's it. There's not another chance of getting it again. So thank you for, you know, being such a regular at our SAM conventions. So, and I hope to see you, of course, in New Orleans.
Oh, we'll be there.
Convention. Yeah. And Tom was talking about the Las Vegas convention being so great, that the first time in 2 years that we got to meet in person, and really it was a wonderful time. The dealer's room actually was quite packed, you know, so we actually got to go to the tables, and people were actually, it was just like the old days, basically, except everyone, of course, wore a mask, right? So that was the only difference. So we were all safe wearing masks, but it was like the old days where we had to go, we had lectures, big screen, and we learned things, and we had sessions, and we had shows in the showroom. So it was actually a very, very wonderful convention, despite it being under COVID situations, and even despite that we had to replace some of the performers that couldn't make it through COVID. But then our show producer, Mike Miller, he was awesome, because it was like seamless. Like he would put in another amazing performer in that other performer's place, and you wouldn't know, if you didn't know that that performer was being replaced. You got just you got to show that, you know, that if you were to come to a show, you would say that was the show that I was going to come to. So it was just like, it was seamless. So it was a great convention. And then at the convention, as Anthony had mentioned at the top of the show, I did mention we did have a session on upcoming conventions. And so I did announce our next National Council meeting, which will be in Quebec City, just right before FISM. So it'll be the weekend before FISM, July 22nd to the 24th. And everyone here is invited to come to that. And it's an opportunity to get to FISM earlier and stay at the official FISM hotel, which is the Delta Hotel, Quebec City, and get some extra perks, and also participate in the SAM activities. And also, as Anthony mentioned, this is where you get to welcome the world, because we'll be first, the Society of American Magicians will be first there at FISM, and we get to say hello to everyone from all parts of the world. And there are people, of course, in our Zoom meeting today that are from all parts of the world. If you can make it there at the FISM, you can come see us. And Society of American Magicians is a FISM organized society. So we're one of the FISM societies there. That's what FISM is made out of. And this is a Society of American Magicians. So you'll see the logo there. And then you can actually welcome the world. But it goes beyond that. So We Welcome the World is the theme that I will be introducing in my presidency when I become president in July. And it actually builds on our previous theme from Dr. Joe Zariski, a past national president, was We Are the Energy. Okay, that was actually getting it started. And then our current most illustrious is We Do More Together, right? And then for me, it will be We Welcome the World. So it's www, We Welcome the World, www, and also the past three themes becomes www. Okay, so it all ties together, and it goes beyond We Welcome the World at FISM, because we want to build our assembly from people from all over the world. And you can actually, all of us from all parts of the world have one thing in common here, is that we love the art of magic. And through the SAM and through the International Assembly, you can actually be part of, together, be part of this group here, and then share, just like you would be sharing and performing and learning in an assembly that is live. But this is different because we get to have people from, no, this is what I tell you, I actually got this in Las Vegas. This is the glow of the world. This is, I got this at the Venetian, and it's actually real crystal. the water here is made out of mother of pearl, and each country is the crystal of that country. So each country has a different unique crystal. So same goes yeah, it's really amazing. They got this from at the store at Venetian, and it's beautiful, and it spins and everything, and actually rotates this way, so it's really great. And it actually has a compass there. So
you know what, Rod? That would look so nice in a huge red envelope sent to me.
Right. Okay, I'll try to squeeze it in there. Anthony, I'll squeeze it in there. Yeah,
Good day, Far Choi, which some of you more erudite folks will know, and Michael Kelly's laughing. He knows what that is, right? That's Happy New Year in Chinese, which is going to happen in about 10 days, something like that.
That's right, Happy New Year in Chinese. So you remember the visual that Anthony put up where you had the SAM logos from all over the world?
Yeah.
SAM logo. There it is, right there. Right there. It was actually on every little spot of the world. So this is what we're going to do. We continue to build upon this through 2022 and beyond. And it's going to be with the help of you people in the International Assembly and other people that are going to bring people into the International Assembly and the Society of American Magicians.
You mentioned Mike Miller, and I got to say, really, that man is an 11 out of 10. He came to me a few months ago. How cool is this? And he said, I have a really, really good magician friend in China, doesn't speak any English. Can he join the International Assembly? Now, that's really cool, old-fashioned style courtesy. So I said, well, of course, Michael. So we did it. And what the gentleman didn't know in China was that Michael paid for it, which is like $55 for the year. And you get all the SAM benefits. I mean, you 55, you join everything in the SAM, MUM online, lecture. Just go to the site and have a look. I mean, if you do go to the site and you're seriously thinking, oh, yeah, I love this, I want to join, there's a big thing up there that says become a member. Yeah. If you are in the USA, click that button. If you're not in the USA and you want to join us, go to another little gray button that says virtual assemblies. Hit that one if you're outside of the USA. There's good reason for it. Hit that one. Three things will come up. One says about 2 virtual assemblies, and underneath, there's a whole thing about joining the International Assembly, including a blow-by-blow description, which I've written of how to go about it, and a video, everything. So if you're outside the USA and you want to be part of us, and we would love you to be part of us, wouldn't we, Rod?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course. That's
Go to virtual
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Virtual assemblies and click that. I'm not kidding you. We have people from Singapore, Malaysia, China, Norway, Iceland, Finland, pick a place, Morocco. And we have, I've appointed International Assembly envoys all over. So it's really, really, really very cool. England, Scotland, whatever. So, well, there's a lot of messages on chat, which I think you can all see. You don't really need me to read them out.
Fabulous. I was looking
yeah, you're looking at that as well. Lee Alex says, wonderful to see you both. Thank you. Yeah, and PJ. Yeah, of course, you and I spotted who that is. The diving temptress. Yes, of course. Great.
I'm here.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm surprised you haven't come on to say something. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Well, I just got here and I'm so sorry to have missed all the great conversation. I will catch it on the tape. Gay, Harriet, all of y'all. It's good to see everyone.
Absolutely. Yes. So good to see you and everybody else. Yes. Thank you all so much for making comments and greetings. We so appreciate this. We appreciate all the things that Anthony is doing for this, and to have George Chandler in the beginning to introduce.
Right.
That was sensational.
Sorry, just going to cut in for a minute there. A gentleman called John Carg, to everyone, says, how long should it take to process a new request for membership to the SAM? Now, if you live in the US, I would imagine about a couple of weeks, give or take. If you're outside the US, a little bit longer, because the mail has got to come from there to wherever you live outside the US. So that takes a little time. What's in the mail, Anthony? Well, you've got a really beautiful certificate. You get a pin. You get a really cool looking membership card, which actually has a little effect on the back that you can just take out of your wallet and do the effect. Well, so wonderful hanging out tonight. Thanks for sharing tonight with us. Robina says, thank you, Harriet, Gay, and Anthony. Great program. Most welcome. Lee Alex, very kindly, for anyone who wants to make a note, go to chat He's put up the link for BJW Magical Jewelers. How
Thank
cool
you.
is
This
it?
is the quality.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the
Ah.
quality Lee Alex makes. We love to carry the quality. We keep quality and we do more together. Thank you very much. It was fantastic spending time with you. You were
Thank
missed at the
you.
convention.
I wanted to put the same thing out. Gay, I appreciate all that you have done with Masters of Illusions over the years. Wonderful show. Love it. Harriet, I noticed you were wearing 2 of those impossible bracelets, a silver and a gold. I can only find the silver one online. How can I get a gold?
Well, I want to talk to you too, because you did a fabulous trick for Franz with the quarter.
Yeah, I know.
3 pieces. So we need to talk.
Okay, I'm in. I'm up for showing you. And Anthony, thanks for making great comments about that video of Franz's.
Gay, I have a question.
Yes.
What's the opportunities for younger magicians? Because I know during the Stars Tomorrow show, there were some really good ones this time.
Yeah. I would love younger magicians. And so would the network. They would love younger magicians. They would love diversity. They would love, just anything from that standpoint. They would love, they would love to have, our people from Asia, the people from, Europe. They would love,
And the best contact just through your website, correct?
Yes. And, 16 and older.
International Assembly member Austin Moody is here. I've just gone to the gallery and I've seen him twirling his wand. I think it'd be a good idea, Austin, to get a couple of clips to Gay.
Did PJ have a question?
I do have a question. First of all, I'd love to see the link, Brett, if you could, to the Stars of Tomorrow show. That would be wonderful, since I wasn't able to be at the convention this year. Harriet, the question is, how's the cookbook coming?
Well, the cookbook is slow and steady. We have a deadline now, February 14th. So we're working, we're working on. Okay. When you get the link, I need a recipe. I need a picture of you with making the recipe or eating the recipe or whatever. That's really important. There's also a little bio about your involvement, the ingredients, of course, and what else? And then there's a release form too. So it's all included what I need in the link.
Yep.
It's really easy and it's going to be fabulous. There's going to be a part on magic lounges. There's going to be a part on magicians, hopefully, that own restaurants. There's going to be a section on magicians of the past. I have a Houdini recipe, and it's going to be very different. And send me your recipes.
I was going to do the Hungarian goulash, but you already have from Budapest, Mr. Houdini's Hungarian goulash. I don't bother now. Well, I think time's come, ladies and gentlemen, if it's all right with everybody else, to kind of wrap up, because I've kept my guests long enough. So thank you kindly, everybody. And last but not least, thank you kindly to Gay and
Yes. This has been absolutely delightful. It's wonderful. Please tell all your listeners to continue watching and doing magic. And Harriet and I both appreciate you and love you all. And everyone, stay safe. Thank you. I must go.
Thank you, Gay. I know you got to run. Okay. Thank you, everybody.